Why hello everybody, and look what I'm responding to. NeonFiona, I mean, does she always have this shit-eating grin? I mean, really? I mean, she just looks so crazy. But then again, when you see the back and forth she had between herself and Mr. Epsilon, you kind of get that thing from her, you get that vibe. But anyway, let's not talk about craziness, shall we? Apparently, she'll never get along with anti-feminists, and here's why. So without further ado, let the gyrations commence.
Alright, let's do this. Hey guys, so in case you don't know, I am a feminist. Others...
Yes, we know. You're a feminist. We don't need to be told that. Everybody who watches your channel knows this.
On the internet have branded me as a social justice warrior.
Because you are.
Which I think is just really stupid. Because SJW is just like, it's a tainted term now. And also, I don't think that fighting for social justice is a bad thing.
Okay, here we go. Oh dear. Now look. When you advocate against cultural appropriation and you are for safe spaces, i.e. on college campuses, basically meaning that blacks and whites should be made separate, and say that's social justice, that's why it's bad. And when you try to limit people's free speech, when you try to create a more authoritarian society, all in the name of social justice, yeah, that's kind of a bad thing. And SJW was never a tainted term, it was always a pejorative. So there was no person ever calling themselves an SJW as a good thing until very recently, when you guys failed to try to reclaim the term. But well, why am I even explaining this? Everybody knows this.
I care about things like racism and LGBT issues and politics,
and you are racist, and you are sexist, and you don't like straight people. So yeah, you care so much that you try to fight it with the things that you claim to be against. It's just ironic, really.
That right there is honestly enough to make a large group of people just stop talking to me and pigeonhole me as some crazy woman who's never had any life experience and isn't educated on any topic and is therefore not worth listening to. But
well, no, actually, we've always been trying to talk to you. That's why we respond to you. This is why we try to ask people to debate us. And to be honest, most of you aren't educated on these matters. Most of you really don't have any leg in reality whatsoever. That is true. You say that you're oppressed, you say that you have all these issues, but you can never point to these issues. It's always dumb social things that can't really be helped. So, yeah, again, that's a bit of a straw man.
But that's not what I'm here to talk about. The echo chamber of the anti-SJW community.
Right. And then you just made a video how you don't want to debate us, and why you'll never get along with us, yet we have the echo chamber. Right. I guess that's why Lacey Green is talking to us right now. And why Christina Hoff Summers is known as based mum. Yeah. And Camille Paglia is well respected.
Can wait for another video. Instead, I'm going to talk about why I won't ever get along with the online community of anti-SJWs, anti-feminists, conservatives, whatever it may be. Not all of them, of course, just the very prominent and vocal ones on YouTube.
I'm pretty sure you mean all of us. Because you don't want to debate us, you don't want to get along with us. And you're saying hashtag not all, yeah, you're using very general terms. Yeah.
That isn't to say that I'll never agree with any opinion that these people might have. I'm sure that I agree with anti-SJWs and conservatives on certain topics because people and movements aren't black and white. But
you're going to paint us all in black and white terms, aren't you?
As a massive generalisation, here is why I will never get along with these groups of people. 1. I truthfully don't care enough to question somebody's identity, and I think it's pretty shitty if you do. If somebody comes up to me and is like, hi, I'm bi, pan, lesbian, gay, trans, whatever it may be, I just accept it. Because I truthfully just don't have that much time or energy to put into other people's lives that I don't know. And even if a friend did come up to me and I'd known her and she'd been dating dudes for a year and she's like, hey, I'm a lesbian, I'd be like, cool, great. I wouldn't be bothered.
Would you not have some second thoughts about that? How this person all your life was doing that and then all of a sudden is a lesbian? But you know what, that's like the thing that nobody actually cares about. I don't really care about it. I'd be like, huh, it's a bit weird, oh well. But the thing is, there is such a trend, there is such a thing as trans trenders, and that's what you're referring to. I don't question if somebody is gay. I don't question if somebody is a lesbian. I don't really question that because I see them clearly fancying people who are the same gender. So what is there to question? What is there to question about Prince of Queens? What is there to question about you being... Are you a lesbian or bi? I don't know. I forgot. What is there to question? You clearly are. But anyway, with the transgenders thing, that is a real issue. Because trans people, actual trans people, complain about that. That's where that comes from. If they're complaining and if they're questioning that, then why can't we? Why should I have to not question these things? Why should I just take it at face value? You really aren't promoting a very good, I don't know, mindset for people here, are you?
Bothered enough to question it, and I certainly wouldn't be bothered enough to make like an entire campaign to like prove that they're not really a lesbian. I wouldn't go out of my way to try and prove.
It's really not a campaign. You can clearly see why Riley Dennis and why people like him are called transgenders. There are traits that they all share, such as claiming to be something, claiming to be to feel a certain way, but then their actions suggest otherwise. How they're going to do these things, but they don't. They say that they want to pass as the gender that they feel they are, but they don't. These things ought to be questioned. And then you've got things like non-binary and gender fluid and all these other bullshit terms, which are really just ways to say this is how I express myself, rather than this is what I actually am. They don't exist. That should be questioned. That should be debunked, because none of it's real.
Prove that they're faking it, convince everyone that they're lying, because one, the chance of them faking it are actually statistically very, very slim. Like, yeah, you can definitely argue.
Some people do fake that to be part of the group. Just ask Mai Dominguez. She'll tell you how a lot of people do fake things about themselves in order to fit into the social justice group that they're a part of. That's what they do. So yeah, that should be called out. In fact, if anything, they should be encouraged to just be themselves, which you don't encourage. The more oppressed you are, the more you fit into an oppressed group, the more points you get, the more respected you are in your community. This is well known, Khaleesi, and again, she has to use lesbian and gay and all that because she's trying to ignore the whole transgender thing. Her argument only works if people are questioning other people's sexuality, which I don't actually see. I don't really see that. I mean, Riley Dennis's is questioned because it's somebody who quite clearly doesn't attempt to pass, doesn't attempt to do anything. I mean, he's claiming to be on therapy now, but we'll see.
That online it's quite cool or whatever to be queer, but the thing about saying things online is that they go into the real world, and in the real world it still isn't cool to be queer. Also, if they turn out...
Yes, it is cool. Otherwise we won't be having pride parades in the West everywhere. How is it not cool? Exactly. In fact, why should it be cool? Why can't it just be a thing? To be gay or lesbian, whatever. Why can't it just be, that is a thing? Why does it have to be cool? And again, you mentioned that, and you seem to concede that online, yes, people do think it's cool to be. And even in real life to an extent, actually. So there are some who will be faking it for the popularity points. So you've kind of conceded it there.
To not really be a lesbian and they're just experimenting and trying new things out. Good.
Yeah, good for them.
For them. Good for them. Try things out. Get to know yourself. You do you, boo. And
that's the point of university to some people. I don't have a problem. No one has a problem with that. That I know of. Unless they are homophobic. You have an issue with straight people liking who they like. You want to force people like me, straight people, to like trans people. Because reasons. Because it's discriminatory. Because it's sexist. When yeah, it's just discriminatory, but that's what attraction is. That's what picking a mate is. It is discriminatory by its very nature. But it's not out of prejudice. So how come you're telling me to just not care about these people, what they like, but you care so much about what I like that I have to change what I like? You're a hypocrite.
Finally, I'm just not a dickhead, and I don't think...
Ha! Really? You're not a dickhead? Ask Mr. Repsy on that.
It's cool to see someone come out or live their lives as their true selves and question that and try and make people believe that they're not really that thing. It's just really pathetic and unkind.
It would be if people actually did that to the gay and lesbians and bisexuals of the world, but they really don't.
Pathetic and unkind. 2. I don't think that our change is done. A lot of conservatives will say that the left are just making things up and trying to cause drama for the sake of it, but like, we're really not. There's still a lot of shit to do, and just because women can get jobs and black people are no longer enslaved doesn't mean that all of our work is done.
They all have equal rights. In fact, women have more rights than men, and I've mentioned this in countless videos. Divorce courts, children, women, in almost 90% of cases, maybe even 80%, are given full custody of the kids, and men don't at all. They have full rights to their genital integrity. Men do not. FGM is illegal. MGM is not. In fact, it is encouraged in America. And let's not forget that essentially you get away with more crimes than men. You're let off more. The prison gap, the sentencing, far outnumbers the racial gap. So again, we point that out, but then you just say, oh no, it's the opposite, when reality is screaming at you in the face that it isn't the case. And yes, black people are enslaved, but the thing is, they're not really discriminated against systematically either, are they? Affirmative action exists in a lot of countries to help minorities to get jobs and other things at the expense of white people. Is that not racist? That's called positive discrimination, isn't it? When it really isn't positive. And I think most minorities really don't want that. They want to be able to do it on their own and prove that they can move up and be a success without help. Most people are what the people like to term rugged individuals. So apparently they're oppressed. Really.
Men are facing sky-high suicide rates because expressing emotions is unmanly.
No. You see, again, that's not the reason why they're killing themselves. A lot of them kill themselves because, one, the treatment that they should be receiving, they're not getting. Two, because of the empathy gap, which is natural and there's not much we can do at the moment. Three, because a lot of them tend to be fathers who can't see their kids and so kill themselves because they're so depressed and their mind isn't working properly, so the functions that would stop them killing themselves don't work properly. And again, that's partly because they can't get the treatment because nobody cares. And that's not because they can't express their feelings, it's that people don't care when they express it. And men know this. And you don't care. That's why you literally dumb down the suicide issue to, oh, they can't express their feelings. When they do, they're told not to. And feminists are amongst the first to tell men not to because that's mansplaining, that's harassment, it's sexism, and they would rather a woman be expressing those things rather than a man. So yeah, I mean, I could go on as to why men are killing themselves, but it's just too many reasons.
People are being targeted by police at alarming rates. Queer kids are being kicked.
Yes, people. Everybody. And it's not just a black issue. In fact, The Guardian, I don't know if they still have it, have a online counter where they count the amount of people who've been shot. It's always mostly white people.
Out of home left, right and centre, and women are being told that they deserve what they got when they said they've been raped because they're
Who says that? Who says that they deserve it? Again, you keep saying all these things but you can't back up what you're saying because nobody's saying that. Meanwhile, I do see men who are raped being laughed at, saying that, oh no, men can't be raped, you weren't raped, you must have enjoyed it. And when teachers, female teachers, are arrested and convicted for paedophilia, for abusing their station and having sex with students, or even raping them, the boy's always victim blamed, so that he wanted it. He's a lad, of course he wanted it. So, yeah. And I can actually find any article about that and show you the reactions to that. You are just lying there now.
Clothing choices were revealed. That's just the tip of the iceberg, and that's just in the West. Other parts of the world have it way worse. The fight isn't nearly done, but a lot of conservatives feel that any attempt at change is an attack on their way of life and their traditional values. They seem to think that the world is falling apart because a trans girl wants to use a bathroom and someone put a trigger warning before a film. But
trigger warnings are censorship by their very nature. That's what they're used for in this day and age, by your community. And as for conservatives, the transgender bathroom shit is bullshit. I agree with you on that. But they're not wrong when they say that this social justice is going too far. They're not against all change, they just don't seem to want massive change. And this is what you lot are doing. You're not in check. You're pushing change to such an extent that it's actually causing harm to society. That's their argument, and there is evidence to suggest that that is happening.
I see these as steps forward because I don't want to regress. I don't want to live in a world where fear and hate.
You claim you don't want to regress, but you are regressive by your very nature because you support things like safe spaces, which is segregation, cultural appropriation, which is essentially anti-miscegenation. Cultures cannot mix with each other, and next thing you know, we won't be able to have mixed race relationships because, well, why? That might oppress the minorities. Who knows? I'm calling it. That might happen.
The world is falling apart because a trans girl wants to use a bathroom and someone put a trigger warning before a film. But I see these as steps forward because I don't want to regress. I don't want to live in a world where fear and hatred are primary motivators for things and that all the work to do with social justice is done because our world is perfect.
Did you not just use fear to ask for change? About oppression, about how minorities are being oppressed because they don't apparently have all the rights when they do. When women are allegedly being told that they deserve to be raped. Is that not using some kind of fear? Are feminists not using the fear of the patriarchy and male power and things like that to get more women to join their ranks and for governments to legislate what they want? Just saying.
Spoiler, our world isn't perfect. And number 3, I like good debate and discussion and conversation. Now,
which is why you're not going to debate us, right?
I've never done a video response to somebody, but you can bet your bottom dollar that any political...
Yes, you did. You did it to Repsion years ago. You're a liar.
...or social justice or topical video that I've done has been heavily inspired by content that I disagree with. But the crucial difference is, I like to argue points. I like to argue with facts.
You don't use facts. Just now you haven't used facts. You just used feelings. Or you have used fake news. You have used falsehoods at the moment. When you used all those things as examples, none of that is true.
I don't like to debate by talking about someone's appearance or what they'd be like in bed or attacking someone's character. To me,
that is what feminists do on a daily basis. They can't help but go on about how men are crying and how, you can't get your female attention, so that's why you're an MRA, that's why you don't like feminists. And then they will complain when they can't get attention from men. Like Jessica Valenti, when she wrote 2 articles, one saying that she hates catcalling, and then years later says, I wish I was catcalled because I can't get male attention, I'm getting old. Just saying.
That just completely ruins your argument. If you need to rely on someone's skin colour or gender identity or how fuckable you think they are, then your argument just truly is weak. And I know why they all do it.
Which is why you lot do that on a regular basis, because you have no argument, so you attack the character and just the way that person is. I've seen that constantly. Feminists are the #1 progenitors of that argument. They can't help but do that. Why is it that you use my sexuality to attack me and tell me to change how I'm attracted to people? Is that not doing what you just described?
But it's entertainment and it's just a joke and it's getting you clicks. You're profiting from harassment. I enjoy making
I am not profiting from harassment. How is all that harassment? Is it harassment when feminists do it?
Decent original content that is made entirely by me and well-researched points, but if you can only...
None of your points are well-researched. That's why you constantly get debunked all the time.
...make content by completely taking someone else's video and then adding your own voice over it, like, so be it. I just like making good stuff. Anyway.
You don't make good stuff. And a video response does not mean that that argument isn't valid, and that doesn't mean that they're not just doing ad hominems. A joke is a joke. As long as the joke and the insult is not their argument, that's permitted by the rules of debate. So yeah, we don't live in the House of Commons, we don't live in the American Senate, and we don't live in the Australian Houses of Parliament, where insults are not allowed at all. So yeah.
Anyway, those are my main issues and why I won't ever get along with the anti-SJW community. Does this...
And yet you want to debate us, you want to debate and live stream us, but you never do. Why do you keep saying this when you don't? And then in the next video after this, you're never going to debate us and you have 15 minutes to tell us why. Oh God, here we go. Arm movements.
Mean, that I don't care about open debate and open discussion. Surprisingly not. I engage with it a lot in my everyday life, I engage with it in the comments of my videos, but sometimes there are...
You are known to delete comments. You are known to do that. You are known not to engage with us. I've not seen you ask Blair White, I've not seen you ask, I don't know, anybody, any of the big YouTubers to talk to you. Because like you said, you don't want to. Why? Because you would get beat. And Repzion probably proved to you that you will get beat by these people because you don't have an argument to stand on.
There are things that I can't level with. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a Patreon, it's going to be in the first line description. Alright, now she's just shilling at this point, so there you go, people. Nothing more than projection, nothing more than ridiculous falsehoods. I guess this is low-hanging fruit at this point, eh? So, until next time, I'll see you all later.